Now, one way businesses in Arkansas might find new opportunities involves exports. Did you know that Arkansas exports and trade involve 1,484 Arkansas companies? Of those firms, 77% are considered small or medium-sized businesses with fewer than 500 employees each. Arkansas ranked 36th in the U.S. in the value of total exports in 2009, according to the most current Arkansas Economic Development Commission statistics. Those exports were valued at $5.3 billion. But the last year was a tough year due to the recession. The state's volume of exports declined 8.8% between 2008 and 2009. However, total exports in 2009 were up 66% above total exports 5 years earlier in 2004. Aircraft and parts accounted for 32% of that export activity. Machinery totaled 9% of exports, followed by cereals at 8% and organic chemicals at 6%. And Arkansas's trading partners may surprise you. The state sends 20% of its exports to Canada, a $1.1 billion destination market. Mexico at 10% is the second largest export market for Arkansas products, followed by France at 6% and China at 4%. Now, a growth area for Arkansas exports is in Korea, a rapidly advancing economy that's been a hot spot as of late for U.S. exports, in part due to a new trade agreement. On Wednesday, state and federal business leaders will host a summit to get your business prepared for potential exports to Korea. What's on tap and what can you expect? I caught up with Patricia Gonzalez, director of the U.S. Export Assistance Center in Arkansas, to find out. All right, let's talk about this upcoming conference, Patricia, that's planned for Wednesday. Why the emphasis on Korean trade?
Well, the purpose of the program is to give companies an understanding of the openings and opportunities that are going to be available for Arkansas companies once the U.S.-Korea Free Trade Agreement is passed. And the other element is the fact that exports creates jobs. In 2008, over 10 million U.S. jobs were tied directly to exporting. Under the terms of this new free trade agreement, which will increase the opportunities for manufacturers by $11 billion a year and up to $560 billion for service providers, that is here to help the economy and to help create jobs. So therefore the push.
Well, where does Korea stand now with Arkansas in terms of trade and exports? Just how valuable of a trading partner are they now?
Well, they're pretty valuable. Right now, Korea stands as our fifth major trading partner. Annually, just to kind of put this into context for you, annually Arkansas exports about $5.2 billion on merchandise. In Korea, our two-way trade was $222 million, and Arkansas actually has a trade surplus with Korea. In 2010, we sold $142 million worth of merchandise. Now, there is no way to track the services, so that's another opportunity as well. On the ag side, Arkansas agricultural producers exported $2.6 billion.
That's big business.
Very big.
What are participants going to get at this conference? What do you hope they take away from this conference?
Well, what we've done is we've tried really hard to bring in people who were either directly involved with the negotiating the free trade agreement or who will be responsible for monitoring its implementation once it's passed. We have Keith Roth, who is the director of the Office of Japan and Korea, U.S. Department of Commerce, whose office is responsible for monitoring the implementation of that agreement. Well, he has 20 years experience in the region working on issues such as tariff and non-tariff barriers and investment disputes. We have Janet Nuzman, who is the Deputy Assistant Administrator of the Foreign Agricultural Service in Washington, and she's coming to talk about the opportunities that will be available for Arkansas agribusiness. And she wants to hear what agribusiness has to say in terms of future negotiations as well. We have Sean Connell, who is the president of the U.S.-Korea Business Council, and that is located in the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and he's going to bring businesses' perspective to this program and how businesses are going to be benefiting from it. They're a big supporter of the free trade agreement.
Patricia, let's say an Arkansas firm wants to do more business by exporting. Let's use Korea as an example. When they come to your office, what are they generally lacking? What do they need from you guys?
Well, I think basically what companies lack is just information and access to that information. When they come to us, we will work with the Arkansas company to identify the markets and to identify opportunities for their particular products in a market. In Korea, for example, we have several programs where we will actually help them identify a agent or a distributor or an end user. We set up pre-vetted appointments for them in the market. That provides a very easy way for them to meet new contacts, feel fairly certain that they are going to be able to do business with them, and not have to find and spend a lot of time and money trying to find who the right contacts are. Our post in Seoul, Korea, for example, also has some innovative trade promotion vehicles. Right now, they are recruiting for a multilingual catalog, which is focused on the renewable energy and solar energy sectors. Companies will advertise in that catalog, which will be distributed at 5 different trade shows in Korea and will be handed out to federal government and provincial officials who will be responsible for helping promote Korea's greater development in the renewable and solar energy sectors.
Well, you have a lot of resources at your fingertips in your office and throughout the world. Tell me what more might be needed in terms of shortcomings that might help Arkansas firms do a better job.
Well, I think Arkansas companies right now also need information on what is available for trade financing. The U.S. Small Business Administration has an export loan guarantees under $5 million to help promote a company's entry into international markets. And the U.S. Export-Import Bank handles trade financing above $5 million. They also have a very critical export insurance programs, which really help mitigate the risk that some companies experience when they're selling to international markets. The other aspect that we really need is to just have companies who are interested in wanting to learn more. We've got a lot of resources at our fingertips. I recommend that companies go to www.export.gov, register, and there are training programs there. There is a registration form, and we will contact you and begin to work with you. There's several other great resources here in Arkansas. There's the Arkansas District Export Council, which is made up of volunteers, of businessmen and women who are involved in various aspects of international trade. They're appointed by the U.S. Secretary of Commerce for 4-year terms, and what they do is promote the importance of international trade on the state economy. The Arkansas District Export Council recently launched a new website, www.arkansasexport.com, which is a clearinghouse and with links to many templates that are used for documentation in international trade, connections for other resources that are available. We try to use this as the state's calendar for international trade programs and services. We maintain a roster of webinars and other kinds of programs that really can help a company get a competitive advantage in the export market.
All right, last question, just a little bit of a curveball here. We've seen a tremendous amount of turmoil and unrest in the Middle East and countries in the Middle East. How has that impacted Arkansas companies doing business there? Have you seen some things change with all that unrest?
No, I haven't. And actually, what I've seen, I served in our U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, and I have found that business-to-business relationships during these times really tend not to be impacted. They're a political impact, and it becomes very important that we pay attention to the politics on the ground. But companies that have relationships to do business usually find that they continue, and there turn out to be greater opportunities for companies. As a matter of fact, our secretary just announced a new program called Egypt Forward, which will focus on opportunities for U.S. products, services, to help Egypt as they continue their transition towards democracy.
And that's Patricia Gonzalez, Director of the U.S. Export Assistance Center in Arkansas. Now, that conference is this coming Wednesday, June 22nd, at the Clinton Presidential Center in Little Rock from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets are $50. As a side note, another participant who's going to be there on Wednesday is Won Kyung Kim, the Director of the Korean-U.S. Free Trade Agreement negotiations. So there's going to be lots of great contacts for you to make if your business is looking to expand overseas. Now, a phone number to call is 501-324-5794, or you can email office.littlerock@trade.gov. Again, that phone number is 501-324-5794, or email office.littlerock@trade.gov.